Hey, did you see what happened with GRSE and some other defense stocks today? I mean, they just shot up.
Yeah, I saw that GRSE, Cochin Shipyard, even HAL had a really good day. Actually, it's pretty wild, right? I mean, defense stocks surging like that.
Totally. GRSE especially hit that 20% upper circuit. It's like, what's fueling all this?
Well, it seems like there's a broad based recovery going on in the market, and investors are just getting more bullish on the defense sector in general. It's almost like everyone suddenly decided that defense is the place to be.
Right. So the Nifty Defence Index was up almost 6%. That's a huge jump. Makes you wonder if this is a long-term trend or just a temporary spike.
Exactly. And GRSE wasn't the only one. Cochin Shipyard also hit a 10% upper circuit. Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders jumped nearly 11% as well. Seems like the whole sector got a shot in the arm.
So it's like a rising tide lifting all ships, or in this case, all shipbuilders. Speaking of GRSE, it's had some crazy volatility, right? I read it jumped like 281% from its 52-week low back in March to its 52-week high in July.
Yeah, that's massive growth. It's been quite the roller coaster for them. Looking at the financials in the quarter ended December 2024, their total income was up over 33% compared to the same quarter last year. So, to you, from any investors,
Wow, a 33% jump. That's pretty significant. So they're not just riding a wave, they're actually performing well, it seems. They're a small cap company, right? With a market cap around 19,000 crore.
right? And their net profit after tax was almost 100 crore for that quarter. Not bad at all. It's like they're not just building ships, they're building value, right?
So the stock's been on a winning streak for 4 sessions now. I guess investors are seeing something they like. But these kinds of jumps always make me a little nervous.
I get it. It's important to remember, and I'll just add this disclaimer here. We advise investors to check with certified experts before taking any investment decisions. It's always better to be safe than sorry.
Definitely. It's like don't just jump on the bandwagon without doing your homework. But still, a 20% jump is hard to ignore. So, what's driving the overall positive sentiment in the market, do you think?
Well, except for IT and FMCG, most major sectors were in positive territory. Maybe there's just a general sense of optimism creeping in, or, maybe some big contracts were announced, or some policy changes that are benefiting these companies.
That makes sense. So, it's a mix of overall market sentiment and maybe some company specific good news. I mean, the defense sector is pretty sensitive to geopolitical events, right?
Absolutely. It's almost like a barometer for global tensions. The more uncertain things are, the more people invest in defense, it seems. It's all interconnected.
Right. So it's not just about building ships and planes, it's about providing security. It's interesting how market sentiment can shift so quickly. One day everyone's bearish, the next they're all in.
Exactly. And defense stocks can be particularly volatile because they're tied to government spending and international relations. It's like trying to predict the weather.
Right. Trying to predict the unpredictable. So, what do you think this means for the future of these companies? Are they poised for continued growth, or is this just a temporary blip?
Well, if they keep delivering solid financial results like they did in the last quarter, and if the overall market sentiment remains positive, they could definitely continue to grow. But it all depends on a lot of factors.
True. It's like they need to keep innovating, winning contracts, and staying ahead of the curve. It's a competitive industry.
Definitely. And they need to manage their costs effectively. It's like running any other business, really. The fundamentals still matter.
So the big question is this a good time to invest in defense stocks? Everyone wants to know that.
Well, it depends on your risk tolerance and your investment strategy. But again, a friendly reminder to our listeners, it's always best to consult with a financial advisor before making any decisions. Do your own research.
Absolutely. It's like don't just follow the crowd, do what's right for you. But it's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Agreed. The defense sector is always interesting to watch, especially when you see these kinds of sudden surges.
Speaking of keeping an eye on things, do you think defense will continue to see positive returns?
Only time will tell, but current trends indicate the potential for defense and shipping stocks to generate increasing returns.
Well, this has been insightful. I feel like I understand a lot more about what's driving these stock surges now.
Same here. These conversations on the podcast are always a great way for me to deep dive into some of these trending topics.
And a little reminder for all our listeners, if you're enjoying these discussions, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It really helps us out.
Definitely. And we've got more exciting topics coming up next week. So stay tuned.
All right, sounds good. See you next time.